The Gulf of Mannar, spread along the eastern coastline of India, extending between Rameshwaram and Kanyakumari, one of the world's richest marine biodiversity hotspots. 21 islands with extensive coral reef flats, identified by the IUCN for the richness of its biological wealth, but listed as an area of particular concern, acknowledging the complexity of the threats surrounding it. 300,000 fishermen, 5,000 mechanized trawlers, 25,000 traditional boats, a rampant illegal trade in highly endangered marine animals, destructive fishing practices and the use of prohibited fishing gear, accelerated growth of polluting industries along the coast, sewage and waste disposal locations situated along the coast. It was in this scenario that the Global Environment Facility stepped in to support the conservation and sustainable use of coastal biodiversity of the Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve. To implement its vision, the project led to the setting up of the Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve Trust.
The GEF UNDP identified this area as a suitable site for taking up people-oriented conservation initiative to actually orient the coastal population towards marine resource conservation.
The project's core objective was to integrate biodiversity conservation with sustainable coastal zone management and livelihood development. To achieve this goal, the Trust needed to evolve a participatory management mechanism involving the local people in the conservation efforts. With the coastal population being almost completely dependent on the sea for their sustenance, no conservation mechanism would have succeeded without the provision of a sustainable alternative livelihood for the local community. In keeping with the people-centric, participatory approach, the Trust helped in the setting up of 252 village-level eco-development committees, where each village came up with their own micro-plan to reduce their dependence on the sea. Once the community decided on the activities they wished to pursue, the Trust helped them out with low-interest loans from a revolving fund created specifically to support these initiatives.
With the support of GEF UNDP fund, the village level revolving fund system has been introduced. This money has been given to the villages to take up local group activities so as to facilitate alternative livelihood system in the areas where the livelihood system was totally dependent on fisheries earlier.
The loans ranged from 1 to 3 lakhs, varying according to the microcredits assessment of the villagers' dependence on the sea. The village EDCs then further managed the disbursement of this loan amount to small self-help groups, which took up activities like cattle rearing, palm craft, charcoal making, indigenous seaweed, betel leaf and jasmine cultivation, etc. Freed from the crippling high-interest loans of the moneylenders, self-help groups like this one in Kumbaram village performed remarkably well.
முதல்ல 4 பைசா 5 பைசா வட்டிகளுக்கு வாங்கி நாங்க எதுவும் ஒரு இதுகள்லாம் நாங்க செய்வோம் ஒரு விசேஷம் ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் வந்தா நாங்க அந்த மாதிரி செய்வோம் இப்போ நாங்க இந்த லோன் வாங்குனதில இருந்து நாங்க அந்த மாதிரி கடன்கள்லாம் வாங்குறது கிடையாது.
While encouraging the use of local raw materials and skill base, the project also supported technical training and skill upgradation courses, especially for the younger generation of the fishing community.
Trust has also taken initiatives to provide vocational skills to youths of fishermen communities so that their scope for employment is widened, and that facility has been provided by taking support from various educational institutions located all along the coastal areas of Gulf of Mannar.
This nursing course, conducted at the Vivekanand Educational Institute in Ramanathapuram, has already provided more than 90 girls from remote fishing villages an opportunity to step into a new world of possibilities.
இல்லைன்னா நான் மன்னாரோட இல்லைன்னா நாங்கள் வீட்டில் வந்து ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்படுவோம், அதனால் படிக்க முடியாது. மன்னாரோட படிக்க வைக்கிறது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருக்குது.
Having secured the support of the local community through its eco-development initiatives, the Trust simultaneously worked to reform and strengthen the institutional arrangements among the separate departments operating within the Biosphere Reserve. To achieve this objective, the Trust established state and district level coordination committees to integrate the working of the disparate and often conflicting agencies.
Committees have actually helped in facilitating coordination between various enforcement agencies in the district level, like Fisheries Department, Forest Department, Coast Guard, Navy, Customs and various other departments, so that the infrastructure facilities and manpower and intelligence network available with various departments can be shared among one another to facilitate better enforcement and control of illegal activities.
The joint patrolling initiative with the Forest, Fisheries, Customs and Coast Guard departments has helped in a much stricter implementation of the Wildlife Protection Acts and of the fishery regulations. This has cut down heavily on the illegal trade in endangered species, overfishing and the use of illegal fishing practices.
செக் பண்ணும்போது அந்த போட் கரெக்ட்டா அதாவது அரசு அனுமதி பெற்ற வலைகள் பயன்படுத்தியுள்ளதா அல்லது அரசு தடை செய்யப்பட்ட வலையை எதுவும் பயன்படுத்துதா அல்லது வனத்துறை அரசாங்கத்தின் இந்திய அரசால் தடை செய்யப்பட்டுள்ள வனவிலங்குகள்.
Along with the officials of the various departments, 40 young anti-poaching watchers recruited from the fisherman community are a critical part of the patrolling activity. These anti-poaching watchers are employed by the National Park Management with the help of the project's financial assistance.
காலையில் கடற்கரை தென் கடற்கரை ஏரியாவில் போய் நாங்கள் 3 கிலோமீட்டர் 4 கிலோமீட்டர் ரோந்து பண்ணி செய்வோம். அப்போது ஒரு சில வள்ளங்கள் வரும், அந்த வள்ளங்களை சோதனை செஞ்சு பார்ப்போம், தடை செய்யப்பட்ட உயிரினங்கள் ஏதாவது இருக்குதான்னு பார்ப்போம். அப்படி இருந்தால் வனச்சர அலுவலருக்கு தகவல் கொடுப்போம்.
This is a part of the project's objective to strengthen the operations and the infrastructure of the existing national park areas. The project also provided financial assistance for the preparation of the National Park's first management plan in 2008, and key activities are planned for 2009.
Their assistance is going to be for demarcation of the boundary by putting for every 500 meters one floating buoy.
Even as the Trust seeks to prevent any further harm, it has also initiated priority research to evolve strategies for undoing the damage already caused. Researchers from the Saganti Devadasan Marine Research Institute in Tuticorin have been engaged by the Trust in coral reef assessment and restoration work. At the end of their EDC meeting, the villagers of Indranagar, Peripatanam, take their oath of allegiance to the Gulf of Mannar. They swear to protect it and to take care of the wealth of life it nourishes. The most powerful indicator of the sustainability of the change achieved by the project